Hi, Kwonyin.
Hi, Sylvia.
How are you doing?
Hmm. Hmm. What's my sound response?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a jam-packed, energetically very kind of turbulent or dense time the past several days.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you're slowly unraveling
Yeah,
you wanted to know in that space of why it
yeah,
occurred and happening?
yeah, unraveling definitely a lot. Yeah.
Nice.
I just came back from visiting my parents
Yeah.
and it's a lot. Always seeing them again, reconnecting with my childhood past through them. It's always a trip.
Mm,
And and then when I came back, I kind of accidentally tripped.
mm.
I thought I had a microdose of mushroom, but it was actually a
Yeah.
lot stronger than I thought.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Before you go
So
there, I kind of
yeah,
ask, you said you went to go visit your parents.
yeah,
After, like, before being aware of integration, and now
uh-huh,
that you are, that when you go back to visit your parents,
yeah.
what awareness do you have now when you're hanging out with them? Because I'm pretty sure it's completely different,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
So, what
yeah.
is it like today with your awareness and everything and hanging out with your parents who are not as integrated as like you may do on yourself?
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, what is that state for you?
Hmm. Well, I think there's much more spaciousness
To allow?
with uh, like with them.
Mm,
Yeah, less reactivity. And the reactivity still pops up,
mhm.
but it seems like there's more space around it
I see.
now.
So when
Hmm.
you say more space, can you help me understand for you personally what that space feels like that roomy space? It seems like you're saying there's more roomy space.
Yeah. Well, that roomy space is, in a sense, I see them saying the things that they say.
Yeah.
I don't know what's an example, but just even in their own relationship dynamics, that would
Yeah.
really trigger me
Yeah.
before the way they talk to each other. Sometimes, violent communication, emotionally violent communication,
Yeah.
and uh, it would really trigger me a lot more before. But this time around, I noticed that maybe because I'm more tuned into the feelings underneath
Hmm.
their way of communicating.
Hmm.
Yeah, that at least for me, the way that I relate to them is, oh, I know you're saying that, but I know that there is this thing behind it.
Yeah. So you kind of know the root.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not just reacting to the surface thing. I'm kind of feeling the bigger picture,
Yeah.
the underlying layers of how
Yeah.
what they're saying.
So you're saying you could be a part of it in the reality of hanging out
Yeah.
with physically and observing it, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you're actually
Yeah.
observing it from a bigger picture point of view
Mhm.
where
Yeah.
you're simultaneously integrated those two
Yeah.
to like it's I don't know.
I just, okay, an example is I think this was a recent integration I did with you about how love and pain
Uh-huh.
are merged, can be merged together.
Yeah.
And I had always thought that if it's true love, then there shouldn't be any pain.
Mm.
And I saw my parents' dynamic as, wow, there's so much pain here. So
Yeah.
I assumed since I was a child that there's no love because they didn't really express love in the ways that I thought traditionally people express love to each other by saying, I love you, or,
Yeah. Yeah.
being affectionate. There wasn't really that kind of display of love as you would think of it.
Hmm.
Um, and so yeah, those things were separate in my mind. But this time around, I think since having that understanding that no, sometimes because there is so much love, it comes with a lot of pain,
Mm.
can come with a lot of pain.
Yeah.
That does not negate the love.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So seeing that, and this time around, I just saw how I think worry and my mom just kind of even controlling and picking up my dad in a way that is her love language, I was seeing.
Hmm.
It's her expression of care.
Hmm. Yeah.
And so it just felt less, somehow having that understanding for myself
Yeah.
felt less violent somehow and
Yeah.
more, okay, it's endearing. That's just the way they relate to each other.
Yeah.
That's their love language.
That's really cool. So being aware of, like, you being aware of, oh, you see multiple perspectives and having understanding of
Yeah.
why this reaction is coming, why this behavior is the way
Yeah.
it's behaving,
Yeah.
having an understanding of all of that kind of
Yeah.
gives you that I don't know if it's relief, but some form of safety in that understanding where,
Mhm.
oh, it's not like, oh, because of you or why me or because usually those kind of feeling states is like not fully understanding why this is going on.
And just seeing that in this dynamic that feels so familiar and I always associate it as it's just all negative,
Yeah. Ooh.
but seeing that it's not just all negative. There are things in
Yeah.
there that are loving,
Yeah.
even though they also cause each other
Yeah.
pain or feel pain by each
Yeah.
other, but the other is reflecting to each other.
That's powerful.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
there was that element. I noticed just more spaciousness there. And I was really practicing um, what it's like to just be present without giving my 2 cents on what I think should
Mhm.
happen or whatever, but just, yeah, letting each of them both
Mhm.
individually express
Yeah.
themselves.
Wow.
Yeah, that was challenging and also gratifying
Mhm.
to notice the more capacity I have for them just to give
Yeah.
presence to them.
Wow. This
Yeah.
really validates what you said when you said, yeah, I have more space. It's like, oh, that's so true. Because everything that you've been aware of is like to have to have that awareness is you need that space to have that awareness. If you don't have that space, it's hard to see all of those perspectives.
Hmm.
I'm like seeing that now, hearing you
Yeah,
talk.
you need that space to see each layer of
Mhm.
reality
Mhm.
and not just react to the reality that you're used to seeing.
Yeah.
The lens of the from the child, the wounded child,
Yeah.
the unmet needs of the
Yeah.
wounded child. Yeah. And there were
Wow.
little things too, like the things that I would get triggered by with um, like the way they organize their house.
Mhm.
Just things like, why are why did she make a pile here and there's stuff like I don't know, just things where I'm getting
Yeah.
to that space of wanting to edit and correct and be like, why is it like this?
Yeah.
Like which
Yeah.
was such a frequent feeling as a child,
Yeah.
like, just not feeling aesthetically safe
Mm.
with their choices.
Yeah.
and and I caught myself
Yeah.
and a big a big thing was just giving presence to letting things be okay exactly as it is.
Mhm.
Don't try to
Yeah.
change it to make
Yeah.
yourself feel better, that energy of control.
Yeah. Like forcing it
Yeah.
to
Uh-huh.
have it your way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. hmm So that was a big practice, like accept things as they are.
Yeah. So you really went and experienced learning how to like be the observer or something like that of
hmm
the unraveling of whatever arises
hmm
and having an understanding of, oh, I see why you would react this way or whatever. It's just whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
happened. Oh, this is interesting how it manifested in this form. Or,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh,
So observer, just practicing presence,
yeah,
very challenging in some moments.
yeah, yeah,
hmm Yeah.
wow.
Um,
Thanks for sharing.
yeah.
And then you said you wanted to, I mean, you went into talking about microdosing,
Yeah.
which,
Not a microdose.
yeah,
No, I think it was, something was in the air with everything was just wanting to be brought up.
yeah,
Yeah. And my subconscious made the choice to, I wasn't
yeah,
consciously making the choice to do that.
yeah,
You
yeah,
I just thought, oh, okay, I'll just try microdose. But it ended up being pretty powerful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want to share
Um,
around that?
yeah. And some more themes around,
Yeah.
a lot of things around abandonment and isolation.
Mm,
Yeah. Um, like this feeling like existential loneliness and this yeah, I just kept moving around, like I couldn't stay in one place because I just kept feeling claustrophobic
mm. Did
and
you
I
become
needed to
aware?
be out and I needed what?
Did you become aware of that claustrophobic feeling state?
Well, it was um at the end.
Uh-huh.
It's interesting how the journey panned out, but it was like this feeling of there's I am lacking connection. It was feeling like lacking connection. That was the claustrophobia.
Mm,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
But it makes sense.
yeah. And still, yeah, lacking connection. And I mean, Max was there with me too. But even though it was a kind of loneliness where even though there's someone else there with me,
Yeah.
well, going in their own journey too. But
Yeah.
um, it was this feeling of like there's something that no one else can touch or see inside of me. It's a loneliness that cannot be seen
Mm,
or met by anyone.
mm.
Yeah, that's what it felt
Wow. So how did you manage to like after that awareness, what was the aha of like,
yeah.
what did it feel like to become aware of that?
Well, it was just it was this overwhelmingly big need to feel connected to the entire universe. It showed me
Oh.
there was this need for big, expansive, like community connection.
So you're saying you found like that part's desire and want of like what it really wants and values.
Yeah, yeah. It was about community
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah. And interestingly, as it was kind of waning,
Mhm.
we ended up, I was really like, I need to leave the house
Yeah.
and go somewhere,
Yeah.
go where the people are.
Yeah.
And down the street at this spaghetti place, they have open mics on the
Yeah.
weekend. We had some
Oh,
friends
nice.
who had invited us earlier because they were
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to go there. I have to go
Yeah.
there and just feel the energy of music and people.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting how that played out with feeling extremely isolated and alone
Yeah.
to just suddenly going and like something exploding. It felt
Yeah.
like an explosion.
Yeah.
And then when we got there to the place, there was this band playing and it was so beautiful. Like,
Oh,
really, I was so touched by the music and we were just
yeah.
freaking out because I love the music so much. And
Yeah.
then the band invited us to come to the stage. It was this
Wow.
whole thing.
What
Like,
an
I was like,
alignment.
this feels so surreal. We
Yeah.
just got
Yeah.
there. We're like, oh my God, music's great. We're like, ah. And
Yeah.
then, so that was an interesting dichotomy of things happening,
Yeah.
one extreme to the other,
Right.
from extreme isolation to suddenly
Uh-huh.
I'm on stage
Yeah.
singing
So you
with this
really
band.
shifted that place for yourself where it's stuck, like I'm just gonna feel abandoned, to
Yeah,
knowing what it is that it
yeah,
wants. It's
yeah.
like, okay, I'm not gonna wait any second
I'm not
longer.
gonna wait a second longer. I'm
We're
gonna
gonna manifest it
now,
now.
manifest it.
Connection. Beautiful. And it
So
came with no resistance, right? It's just,
no,
let's do it.
let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. So I also see in that journey from invisibility to
Yeah.
visibility, like really big contrast. It just
Mhm.
flipped.
And you surrender to that space, not knowing how it's going to end up, and it ended up being
No,
even more beautifully than you expected it to be.
unplanned. Yeah.
I love it.
And the whole time I was up there, I was thinking, this is so fun. And am I dreaming right now? What's
Yeah,
happening?
yeah. Like it feels so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's pretty magical.
So it was like surrendering to the loneliness
Mhm.
to understand what I need there,
Yeah.
and then make no haste taking action,
Mhm. Yeah.
pulling myself out
And that's
to
the
take
state.
myself to the place where
Yeah.
my needs can get met.
And that's what this whole integration thing is all about, right? Like
Yeah.
no resistance. And if there's no resistance, you manifest it instantaneously.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that your story
And
was just a validation for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
ended up having just this really magical night where,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's fucking cool.
all this energy, people,
Yeah.
friends.
And no resistance in that experience. Everything went so smoothly,
Yeah.
like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
in alignment.
All in alignment.
Wow.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's what it feels like when you see the pain of that personal truth, to
Yeah.
really sit with it, feel it,
Yeah.
get to know what it really wants.
Hmm.
And because even in the most painful space gives you clarity of what it is that you really want.
Hmm.
And when you
Which
figure
brings
that,
us
yeah.
to the, like, again, the point of pain is such an important messenger.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah. And I realized that if I was in a less pain state with it. I could have also spent the night or the evening just being like, oh, I'll just stay home
Mm-hmm.
and kind of in this kind of middle gray zone where
Mm-hmm.
not much is happening or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah, because you wouldn't know the intensity of that loneliness. It's like, oh,
Exactly.
I feel it. Oh, I see. I want
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah.
And it kind of be there like, okay, so what can I do? Maybe watch a movie and have
Right.
connection. And it'll just kind of be
But you're
just to
not
that
really doing
level.
it. Yeah, you're just
Yeah.
in this little gray zone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Where you
Mhm.
could go deeper to get like really know what it wants and needs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because you did surrender to that deeper space and knowing what it is, you manifested more of that fulfilled state for yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Connection
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
matched that loneliness.
Right. And I think I was able to appreciate what happened so much because of the
Mhm.
contrast.
Yeah.
I was literally like, this is oxygen to me,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
feeling so grateful
Yeah.
that I could just go down the street
Yeah.
and
To
be,
your abandonment going
yeah.
with you. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
basically thanking the shadow and thanking your desires at the same time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. So there's something about how we can, when we get too comfortable in the gray zone,
Hmm.
you can thank acute pain
Yes.
for really getting you out of that comfort zone
Hmm.
to really get you the antidote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's challenging at times. It's work to
Hmm.
even surrender to that place.
Yeah.
But the better it gets, does get better.
And I wonder if there's even when you keep tuning to yourself where things maybe where you don't have to let things get acute
Yeah.
to take action
Yeah.
for what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and more of that processing gets you to be like, you don't have to go that deep anymore
Mm.
to know, right? It just gets easier to know what it is
Right.
and to manifest it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Right. Easier because you know the way,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if it's any less painful.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you just can't anticipate
Yep.
when something's going to be painful or not. It's
Yeah.
just
You never know.
you feel it and then you have
Yeah.
to respond.
Yeah. But it's just a different experience though, even
Yeah.
in that pain.
Yeah.
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 Dang.
Yeah.
That was
Mm.
a really good example of the internal matching the external.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Because if you didn't go there and then you felt the loneliness, that loneliness would have still been a match in the external of loneliness,
Yeah.
not fully quenched.
Hmm. Yeah.
And
Right.
then repeating that feeling state the next day or the
Mhm.
next day, or through suppression or through distraction.
Yeah.
It's still there somehow, waiting for it to come back out when this job when the distraction doesn't work or when the suppression doesn't work.
Yeah.
It eventually comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Dang.
So, yeah,
Lovely. Yeah. Yeah.
giving presence to that and
Dang. This is so
responding
good.
to loneliness and abandonment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. What about you? What's going
Oh, well, before I go into me, I also want to say go get your catharsis sweater.
on?
Then Um, I love it. I'm gonna wear it every day
Yeah.
until it gets too hot for me to wear. But favorite
Yeah.
sweater.
Oh, by the way, what's the frequency behind you? Say.
Dopamine, I think.
Oh,
Not
dopamine.
really sure, but I think that's what it is.
Cool.
I don't know. I just kind of like, what do I want today? And this one just kind of stood out and I just
The
chose it.
dopamine is the hormone that gets released when you um like the reward hormone, right? When you're feeling.
Yeah, yeah. And if I am correct, oh wait, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's the reward. It's the thing that you feel, the high you feel after you go for a run or you complete a task.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm just not sure if that is the frequency.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
So I don't want to say, yes, this is the dopamine, but I
Okay.
think it is. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I actually went through a panic attack after the recording of last week's
Mm.
um, because I was fully aware of butchering my personal truth of what I'm aware of, what I'm capable of, what my skills are. I never really integrated, not never really, I never thought of integrating any resistance towards channeling. And I became aware of it last week after recording that, oh my God, I have a real big shadow there because it really messed up my verbal communication of me trying to like communicate my personal truth with my skills in that area and not manifesting that. So I guess going off of what you're saying, I was very aware of the misalignment.
Mm.
And so after our recording, something in me felt in a deep space of, even you felt it too. And we discussed it like, we don't even want to rewatch it, just upload it. And I felt that too, even though I knew it would be embarrassing for me, very shameful for me to do so, because I don't want to be projecting that side for other people to see. What are
What's
they going to think of me as a facilitator? They're
that?
going to think I'm not skilled. They're going to think, oh, like she doesn't have it all together. Um, and therefore feeling like, oh, I ruined my career now. And like, no one's going to see that I am actually skillful because look how I'm messing up with my words. And she has no idea even how to like verbally communicate that. And
Mm.
all of those things started like internal negative thoughts started like arising within me. And that's when I realized, oh my God, I didn't know I needed to do any integration because me progressing slowly into feeling safe in that area felt really
It's a
safe for me.
medium.
hmm Like, I don't even want to say medium because that doesn't even resonate with me, not even as a sidekick. But what really resonates is channeling. Like, I'm just really just a vessel if I surrender to allow whatever to come through to come through.
Mhm.
So, and I thought, okay, I got it. Like, I really got it now, and I'm really owning it. I want to own it. And what happened after the recording, I realized there's a part of my truth that is aware of it, ready to own it.
Mhm.
I was not aware of the subconscious part. Well, I was aware of it, but I thought I took care of it,
Mhm.
basically, by creating safety around it. But I never really integrated it, thinking I didn't need it. And then so there,
You
and
describe, actually, before you go on,
yeah,
what's the
yeah.
difference between taking care of a part, a fragment,
Mhm.
versus integrating a part?
Oh, good one. Okay, so for me, when I thought I took care of it was because I didn't feel any resistance towards it.
Yeah.
I didn't. But the only reason why I didn't feel resistance towards it is because I have a friend, Kristen, whom we both know. who's our friend, where I personally practice this with her mainly. And there's no resistance to it because I'm able to fully own it when I'm like um, in that space. And I thought I was fully ready, but to fully surrender to the audience, and I have surrendered a little bit to that space of, oh, I have these skills. But what I didn't realize was there was a more deeper subconscious part of me when in that recording last week, I fully surrendered to that space to share. And I've never done that before. I have surrendered in other interviews to say, yes, I've experienced this in channeling and that in channeling, but it wasn't fully surrendering to own it. And that was a blind spot for me. And so when I fully surrendered to that space, I recognized the shadow that didn't feel safe. And after the recording, I was very aware that there was a third part of me that was seeing it from like a perspective of outside the box with both of these parts of me and recognizing that they're both right. It's just that, oh, Sylvia's conscious self was not aware of this deep subconscious, like unsafety around fully surrendering to channeling, and became aware that like I wasn't really organized with how do I want to utilize channeling? Like how am I going to focus uh, me being a vessel of channeling? How do I want to utilize it? And I wasn't organized in that area. It was just like, oh my God, I'm experiencing this. And therefore, fully surrendering to, oh, I have this skill. But looking into the shadow, I recognized it being like, I had this fear of butchering the truth because I never want whatever that comes through to be something that will hurt myself and others. And really scared that I would be butchering the truth.
Through what you channel.
And that was my shadow of like, no, I don't want to fully own it because I'm so scared that whatever comes through, I could be butchering the truth that is damaging for me and somebody else, which is true too, like, and so it was too scared to own it. And so when I felt into that space, it was like, you don't know the truth. Like, how dare you say you know the truth and like fully own it? Or what if you mess up? And what if whatever? And it was trying to freak me out to not fully own it. But when I did the integration, and I kind of forgot because I went pretty deep into that, but what I remember was when I surrendered to that fear of like messing people up with the truth that I thought that I think comes through as a channel was like the aha eventually that I got into surrendering to this place was, oh my God, I see the shadow helping me out, which is
The
it's
shadow that's like
okay to
the
mess
shadow
up.
that's saying like what if you get it wrong?
Like it was like, you're going to hurt yourself and others. And it is true. I never want to hurt myself or others with whatever comes through, with whatever I say, my perspective, my opinions, even through channeling. I never want it to be utilized to be like, I'm not saying this to hurt you. I'm not saying this to like damage you or anything like that. And for me to know that I could subconsciously do that is terrifying too. And because this part feels like you never know when that can happen, so just don't even go there. But then what I realized was, oh, I am a channel for shadow. I really am a good channel for shadow. And I felt so safe in, okay, if I want to open myself up to be a vessel for like channeling shadow, I came to this realization like I fully want to own that because wait, even getting to that space, like I had this aha where if I don't show, like I can be embarrassed, or if people don't see that, yeah, I can feel shameful about myself. If I never show people my blind spots, if I only show my perfected heal state, it felt like to me that's not the path I want to take in terms of the new age healing. Like, for instance, it gave me this feeling of like when Jesus was around, when Buddha was around, all of those people that were like fully awakened, they came into helping others after they mastered, you know, their awakening. That when they were out helping people, no one really saw them messing up, or no one really saw them being shameful, or at least if they did, like no one talks about that side. Everyone talks about Buddha or like Jesus or any of those spiritual teachers as
Mhm.
like being so holy that
Mhm.
like they never mess up.
Yeah, like
And
they already
so,
came fully.
yeah. And the message I got through my integration by looking into the shadow of mine was um, this big aha of you can have blind spots, you can be embarrassed, you can show like, oh shit, like I messed up, or oh, that didn't feel good, or oh, like that's not how I wanted to project myself. And but even having that parts of me that I'm still able, like I'm still skillful as like a facilitator, as a channel for shadow, and all of that. And once I had that aha, it gave me this like visualization of like me as a teacher when I used to be an educator for preschoolers. I loved what I did. It was my passion. But I've always wanted to be that educator where I'm like, I don't want to project to the kids where teacher knows it all. So you better just listen to me. And the students always being wrong and making them feel like, oh, teacher always gets it right and the student always gets it wrong. It's, I want to be that teacher. It's like, oh, thank you, so and so. Like, you helped me realize that I want to utilize my awareness in this way now. You helped me to see that there's a better solution for handling this situation. Thank you for helping me become aware of it. Like, I want to grow together with the educator as being the educator and the student. So, as a facilitator or a client, or as a human being with other people, or as a teacher to somebody else, or whatever, in that dynamic of like, um, we
You're
all
equally
have
open to
our,
learning.
what did you say?
You're in an open state. You're
Yeah,
equally open to learning.
yeah. Like I am skillful in what I do, but I'm also leaving space of like, I'm not going to always get it right. But you know what? I really want to be aware and catch it quickly. If, ooh, something did not feel right, that did not feel good, I'm not going to just ignore it and say, like, oh, I'm a teacher. Like, no, this is the right way. It's like, oh, even as a teacher, that didn't feel right the way I handle it with my student. So I'm going to quickly catch that, integrate it, and become better at it. And so I want people to see that about me. Like, and I think it's like that for everybody. Like, um, we're all humans. We all have space to grow. And for me, quite frankly, me being wanting to be better skilled at channeling shadow, at being a facilitator and what I do in all of this work, it's like, oh, the only way I do get better is constantly integrating for myself too. And I don't want to be shameful of like my blind spots. I want to be very organic of like, oh shit, like I didn't like how that was projected, but don't worry, I caught that. I'm going to become aware of it. I'm going to integrate it and work towards being better at it. And so
I think that
that
makes you
gave
a more
me,
trustworthy facilitator too, and just person when
yeah,
you're always keeping in mind that there's, again, spaciousness around what you're channeling, and that
yeah,
nothing is finite or final or fixed.
yeah,
There's room
mhm,
for, I don't even want to call it mistakes.
yeah. It's not, it's just,
Like, this is what's coming through from the field right now. This is
yeah,
coming. And
just to be able to learn more, an opportunity to learn more. Yeah.
in any case, it's going to bring new awareness, whether
hmm
you resonate with it or not.
hmm
Even if you're triggered by it, there's a lot of value in gaining awareness through that too.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And I'm so glad for that part because if denied it, suppressed it, and said, oh, I don't want to upload this anymore, and only show like my perfected state of,
Yeah.
oh, this is what you should do, and this is what I'm skillful, and only saw like me not messing up, it's like then it's what I'm just also teaching and projecting is so when you master a skill, you should never mess up. And that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
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 Because then you're going to be subconsciously suppressing like
Yeah.
like never mess up and that's wrong and that's whatnot. But it's about yeah,
It's such a constant learning and struggle, because a lot of what
yeah,
I'm what I work through in myself and what I support people through is with visibility. And
mm-hmm,
I sometimes I find myself feeling really bad about myself with, oh, here I am. I don't feel like I can show up,
mm-hmm,
or
yeah,
I'm embarrassed about what I just said in a moment of confidence. But then being aware of then another part,
yeah.
being shame.
Oh, oh, there,
Oh, there, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So you said it got cut off when you said I want to be a part of
Like, well, that struggle with um, visibility,
mm,
and I still relate to you with the like. Sometimes I, share things, I post things,
yeah,
and when I'm aligned to that moment, I feel that I'm aligned to
yeah,
share that,
yeah,
to share some vulnerability. And then the next day, another part of me will catch up to me and
mm-hmm,
be, why did you do that? That's so embarrassing. And working with that,
yeah, yeah,
helping that part to feel safe again.
mm-hmm,
So
yeah.
it's just an ongoing process.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it felt like, oh, I want to be a part of breaking that pattern. Just
Yeah.
like you and I are aware of, like,
Right.
don't want to be that perfected state, only showing that perfected state. It's like, no,
Damaging to think that uh,
yeah,
you can't teach something or stand for something unless
mhm,
you are 100% in alignment with that all the time.
yeah, like fully healed it. It's like, that's
Yeah. What is
impossible
that
because,
even?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, it's an unlimited amount of expansion and growing and learning.
Mm. And
So,
the way that we even come up with the gold from the teachings is from, again, like slipping and going there and meeting that
yeah,
pain state again, that
yeah,
embarrassment, that
uh-huh,
shame.
uh-huh,
So yeah, there's a lot of medicine in sharing that process,
Hmm.
not just about showing the end result of it.
Yes.
How you are present throughout that process of um, getting yourself to feel safe again.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
this the what I see now is like, so after this integration, I'm like, oh my God, like I don't have resistance anymore. And I'm pretty sure you can feel it in this voice versus the episode last week. It's like, oh, it's cleared because um wait, what was I gonna say? The the shadow, like I want, and I even though I say I also at the same time am aware that it's including you and I, because we think very similarly, and I know you agree, and it's that um um integrating shadow, and the difference between constantly integrating shadow is that when you do run into blind spots, a deep awareness is, even though it feels embarrassing or shameful, or oh my God, I can't believe I discovered this thing that I don't like about me, is after enough integration, the skill set that you just innately have is this deeper, bigger understanding that you'll be able to like safely resolve it, instead of, oh my God, I recognize it, I don't know what to do. And then it just being it, like it is just kind of like, that's it. There's nothing more you can do. But in our, what we realize is after like integrating, and even when we catch our blind spots, it is painful. It's like, oh God, there's more integration that feels painful, but it's like this, again, I'm reiterating because I feel like it's so important of, you have the, like, I you know, because you have the skills too, like I feel like I have the tools now to like not be afraid to look into it and to resolve it. And I think that is a really big gain in doing these integrations, because when you do run into those dark places within yourself with negative thoughts or beliefs, or when things don't really manifest the way that you want it to, and then you experience pain, a deeper understanding of safety of, okay, that's okay. I now have built and have gotten so many tools from my integration that I know without a doubt I'm going to be able to resolve this. And that is what happened. This last week's integration, if I didn't have these tools from previous integrations, it would have taken me a lot more than a week to come to this space of confidence and like um about like me owning, fully surrendering now to say I am a channel for shadow and I'm skillful at it. Yeah.
So I have a question for people tuning in who are like, what are these tools, maybe
Yeah.
for people out there who are having a challenging time owning their spiritual gifts as a
Mhm.
channel or whatever it may be. Um, what
We,
is
yeah.
the most important tool that you could share now with
Mhm.
them? Um,
So integration is really important because you gain your own personal customized tool, is what it feels like along the way, of how to recognize and own your own gifts and talents as you being a channel for yourself, um, that gives you the highest guidance of leading you to your desired state in a safe and healthy way for yourself personally. And everyone's channel and gifts and talent in that is different according to your personal experiences, traumas, beliefs, um, and healing. You're gonna be able to customize it and utilize it in your own way. That's may not going to be helpful for somebody else, but to you it is. And
So for someone who doesn't know anything
yeah.
about integration,
Mhm.
like can you describe, yeah, um what it means to customize the tools with integration for someone who doesn't know?
It doesn't come all of a sudden after a certain point, like, aha, I know, like, this is my channeling. It's so subtle. You don't even recognize that you're even channeling for yourself and listening to that. Channeling could be like intuition, your inner voice, where you just naturally start listening to that and realizing, oh, and not even recognizing that was a channel message for you. It's so subtle, and it's only after becoming more in tune with yourself and more aware of yourself through integration that you'll eventually one day get to that aha of, oh, whoa, actually, I can kind of tell the difference now. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a gradual experience. And in the beginning, you're not going to recognize it, but eventually you will if you keep up the work.
Okay, so when you say integration and you're just be able to, is the ability to hear yourself
Mhm.
better and
Yes.
hear different aspects of yourself,
Different parts of yourself.
different parts of
Because
yourself.
they have messages for you that's valuable for you to know if your conscious self is not aware of it. Because it's so easy for us to tune those out, tune those parts of you out, tune those voices out, and all of that. And like some people kind of say, like, okay, there are other spirits other than your parts, like angels, other entities, other beings, other whatever. Yes, it's true, but for me personally, it doesn't feel like it matters, like who that is. They're all energy vibration that are utilizing to project themselves as that so that it helps a human person to like receive it and feel safer about receiving it. But for me, I don't even care who that could be as long as they're saying something that's like, oh, I like that thought, or oh, I wonder why this thought is coming to me. And
Mhm.
like, I feel like it doesn't really matter who it is or where it's coming from. It's just how is this thought or this message making you feel about it? And if
Mhm.
there's resistance, look into it. If there's not, take it, make it your own. Great, no resistance, and then go about your day. Yeah,
Because you know, in the higher sense, everything is interconnected and all is one. So
exactly.
all angels,
It's
demons,
yeah,
whatever, it's like it's all you
exactly,
in the
exactly.
universe.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's like the ability to receive what's coming to
Yeah.
you,
Mm-hmm.
what you're hearing,
Exactly.
feeling, seeing
Yeah.
with your inner and outer senses,
Yeah.
and uh and to be able to, like, you're the receiver and also um you're like the translator
It's kind of
of it
dark.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Um,
And I also see, integration as like the thing that's um the thing that you're bringing in, as it's like this relationship of understanding why it's here and what its message is,
mhm,
right? Like when you keep on getting a recurrent thought
mhm.
or a recurrent feeling.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And it's really interesting how the more you become like in tune with seeing the messages, what happens is like every little thing that you see, you can tap into that to receive messages for you. Because if you are not aligned to it, like you wouldn't see it. It
Yeah.
wouldn't be in your reality at all. It's not in your reality.
Yeah.
So even like my phone or this pen, if you
Yeah.
really tap into, oh my God, I'm aligned to like having this pen. And if you really tap into it, there's something that this pen could actually teach you about an awareness for you.
Yeah.
And because everything is a message that you can actually tap into to receive for yourself.
Mm.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
choose. Yeah.
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 So fascinating.
It's
Everything's alive
really,
and
yeah.
everything is you.
It's
And the
really
things that keep
fascinating.
catching your eye or
Uh-huh.
catching your attention,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a good idea to
Uh-huh.
look into it.
Uh-huh. So, you know how
Yeah.
you said everything is oneness, which is true, but everything being oneness is all of you is trying to communicate with you all day, every day. Everything you want to know, everything you desire, it has all the clues to help you get there. It has all the clues to reveal your shadow and how to clear it to move forward or whatever it may be. Yeah. And I think our work, why it's so powerful is it helps you to organize how to see it, how to work through it, how to resolve it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So afterwards, like after now that previous episode being uploaded, I'm not embarrassed. I'm not, I mean, yes, it is embarrassing, it is shameful, but like um I don't have resistance at all anymore of showing that part of me because I'm like, yes, I have that, but now I took care of it. I'm going to continue to take care of it until I become better and better and more skillful at it. So thank you for shadow. If I never have shadow again, it would be the end of my expansion. Like there's no reason for me to learn more and to expand more and to find more solutions and resolve and to be more creative and all of that. Like it wouldn't be there.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So now it's like,
I see another key part of integration is seeing the value
yeah,
of what your shadow is.
yeah.
commu-
The
Yeah.
value of that perfected state, the value of like when you feel like it's not perfect or like you're messing up, like is equally all like powerfully um, the same in terms of what it can teach you.
So the value of shame in perfection, not feeling like you're being perfect enough, is that it's actually teaching you how to stand by yourself no matter what.
Hmm.
That shame, the shadow shame that's saying, oh,
Yeah,
you just embarrassed yourself.
yeah. Don't go
Well,
there.
yeah, don't go there. Or
Yeah,
why did you do that? And that blame.
yeah.
It's it's like that's the energy that is kind of testing you
Hmm.
on, do you stand by yourself or
Hmm.
do you stand for yourself with
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can even stand with that belief and stay stuck there. I could just stay stuck there, like,
I mean,
oh
yeah,
no.
you could give up everything
Uh,
being saying, oh, you're right. Okay, I'm just going to quit this. And that happens to so many people
yeah,
all the time, you
yeah.
know,
Uh-huh.
or all the times I wanted to give up because I think I just embarrassed myself.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm too embarrassed to
yeah,
come out
yeah.
of my
Hmm.
cave.
And it made me think, like, is this what I want? And it's like, after digging and becoming more, it's like, yeah, this is what I want. I like being a channel.
Yeah.
I
So, which is
like it.
also testing you. What are you willing to
Hmm.
experience
Hmm.
for what you truly want?
Yeah,
What are you willing, like, how badly are you willing to get embarrassed, feel ashamed, all
hmm.
of that?
Hmm.
Are you still willing to do that for your desire to be the best fucking channel.
Yeah. Because I really want to be able to be really good at
Yeah,
channeling
you
shadow, like
are.
more and more and more and more. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's like,
Yeah.
oh, shaming my shadow is not going to get me there. Yeah. Is to feel it and to be like owning it and to work with it as it being on my side than pushing it away
Right.
because it
Like the
has so much to teach me.
Buddha got enlightened because of his shadow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's no enlightened Buddha without the thing that's trying to tempt him out of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how you build your strength and resilience.
Yeah.
You keep working with that counter energy, which is also you.
Yeah.
How badly do you want it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How badly, how much are you willing to love yourself through this?
Yeah.
Yeah, for what you want.
True.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's so awesome, Sylvia.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, you just have these powerful aha moments, and I love it. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, I do want to mention I finished my workbook and now it's uploaded on my website of how to be a healthy, wealthy, well, how to bridge the gap to being a healthy, wealthy person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Can we have the link down below?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, to your
And I
website.
feel, yeah, at first I was a little bit shy. I was like, oh, I don't want to like say it out loud. But again, it's like, oh no, I love what I do. Why would I like not want to own that? Like, this is what I love. I love solving problems and I like created this thing and I want to be so proud of it because I fully enjoyed the whole process of putting this together. And this is like, again, it's another way of me expressing what I enjoy and love. So I don't want to shy away from it. I just want to express like I had a lot of fun and my passion went into creating this. So
Yes.
yeah, voicing it out now.
Yay!
Yay. Yeah.
Action.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. And it's just like this, your sweater.
Yeah.
Seriously. Like I love your creation. Love it. Love it. Love it. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
keep manifesting through what we like, through our passion and
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Welcomizing the shadows as they come up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really alchemy. We are all alchemists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, true that.
So yeah. What else? I don't know. It feels like
Yeah. Feels complete.
with
Okay.
today's talk. Yeah.
All right.
Till
Well,
next week.
till next time.
Okay. Bye.